Hello guys, and welcome back to another cold episode. On today's episode, Darklord is back. It has been a hot second since I have covered a Darklord deck, and with the release of a new way to fusion summon, that being the tiers, we have another way to play Darklord. So this is 60 card amalgamation of stuff, aka As We Fall. This deck is Darklord Ishizu tier branded things. And so, yeah, let's just quickly do the card by card and the explanation for the deck. So, starting off with the tier stuff, which is the newest addition to the Fusion Summon, or generic Fusion Summon mechanic, we are playing, well, the max amount of the Fusion Summon monsters that we can. Double Merly, double Havness, and double Sheeran, as well as 2 Rhinoheart. Rhinoheart is a normal summon, and honestly, we already have a lot of normal summons in this deck, so we don't want to add too many more. So there's that. We're also playing the Despia stuff. We're not specifically playing a lot of the branded stuff, because I specifically wanted to play Darklords and not branded. Branded kind of takes over the Darklords, and you basically just play bad branded, and at this point, we're basically just playing bad tier anyway, so I didn't want to throw in branded on top of this and play even less Darklord stuff, so that's why. So yeah, we're playing the 2 Aluber, triple Tragedy, and 1 Dramaturg. These just happen to be the best numbers. Tragedy is really good because off of a theater, you are able to then go into your first Darklord and trigger the effect of your Tragedy. So having multiple Tragedy is never really bad. So there you go. It also is a target for Herald, and you can send it to gain effects off of grass. So that's pretty nice. So yeah, that's it for those monsters. Sorry. For the tier stuff, we're also playing the 2 Scream, the 2 SnowiKs, and the 1 Perlino. For the branded stuff, we're playing 2 Theater, 2 Branded Opening, and a Branded in Red. The one card that locks you, well, I should say the one card that locks you out of the extra deck, besides fusions, is Branded Opening, so do keep that in mind. We are playing a lot of Link monsters, so if you go Branded Opening, your board will be a little bit weaker. Also, Indulged, while I am playing this at 3 copies, this card is not the best normal summon. The only reason that we're playing it at 3 is because of the ability to bring it back off of something like a Contact, or what have you, to then be able to search an additional card, and more importantly, get that extra fairy onto your field. So there's that. Anyway, so yeah, Indulge is very nice though, overall. It's still a good normal summon. You can normal summon it, and then you still have access to most of your fairies, or most of your cards. The only thing that you're cut off from is your tiers, so do keep that in mind. So anyway, yeah, moving on to the actual Darklord stuff. We're playing triple Indulged as well as the 1 Ukobak as the target. You can also, use something else. We're playing double Amdusk as well as double Superbia, the 1 Tez, and triple Ixchel, and the 1 Morningstar. Morningstar very rarely comes up, but he's one of my favorite cards, so we're playing him. Realistically, probably shouldn't be. Amdusk, we're playing 2 of this to grab cards back from the grave. It's very nice to have. The 2 Superbia, pretty much just for milling. Obviously, triple Ixchel for drawing. Then we're also playing triple Banishment, double Contact. You only really need 2. As well as we're playing 1 Enchantment and 2 Sanctified. What I found is that Enchantment's very good. Being able to steal a monster is just very nice. And very few decks are prepared for something like this. As well as Sanctified being able to non-target negate. The non-target doesn't really matter, but just being able to negate something face up on the field at quick effect speed is very nice. I mean, SnowiKs is literally one of the best cards right now, and it's just a worse version of this, which is very funny. Except for, I guess, it stays up on the field, and it's a permanent negate. So there's that. So yeah, all in all, that's basically it. As for the rest of the cards, we're playing the 1 Snow, the 1 Herald of Orange Light, the triple Maxi, the double Gamma, as well as the 1 Driver. We're playing the double Grass as well, and that's it. We're not playing things like Called By or Ash or what have you, because we don't really need to, and they just clog up the deck. Moving on, we are playing in the extra 1 Mud Dragon, 1 Kit Kalos, Dragostapelia, Queritus, the Rukalos, Guardian Chimera, Kaleido Heart, and 2 first Darklords. There are often times where you can go into 2 first Darklords, and then you can also go into first Darklord and then summon back first Darklord, which is very funny. Also, targeting protection is fantastic right now. Again, SnowiKs targets, Kaleido Heart targets, lots of things target, even the Perlino targets, lots of cards target. So being able to have that additional target protection is very nice. You could cut a first Darklord and play the Masquerade if you wanted to, the Despian Masquerade, but I just cut it. It wasn't really worth it. There are very rare instances where it was worthwhile to go into the Masquerade over just Q. This card's very, very good. Even though it doesn't necessarily hit everything, like they can go Rukalos or Kaleido Heart, and now it's not really that good, it's still a good card because it floats, and yeah. Moving on to the Link monsters, we're playing one Condemned Darklord, the one Masquerena, the one Dark, as well as Sprite Elf. Sprite Elf's very good just in general. Additional target protection, but being able to bring back something like a Merly is very nice, or a Maxi, or a Gamma, or what have you, in order to continue from there. Also, on top of that, we can go Sprite Elf into Masquerena with some hands, which then allows us to make an Apollosa on the opponent's turn, or Underworld Goddess. Underworld Goddess is in here because it is very, very good in the Darklord strategy. Being able to like IP Masquerena into a myriad of monsters with the first Darklord, link those all off. If your opponent has a problematic monster, link them off for the Underworld Goddess is very nice. And then Apollosa is just a good fairy. Hey, look at that. It's a fairy. You can make it lots of link material as well with this build. So, there you go. Let's hop into the replays and show you how this deck performs. Alright, so here we are going first, and is that grass? Look, grass is really busted, so of course we're going to abuse it when no one is running Ash. Anyway, we're going to activate that Grass Looks Screener, and we're going to mill a whole bunch of cards. We're then going to activate Scream, which happened to trigger, as well as the Rhino Heart, which also happened to trigger, and then they will Gamma for some reason. I don't know why we're Gammaing the Rhino Heart, but sure, okay. Yeah. Apparently in Diamond 1, people just don't know how to play the game. Anyway, we're going to grab up our Aluber here in order to grab up the Theater. We're going to activate the Theater, and hey, look at that. It's 3 fairies. So we're going to fusion off into the first Darklord. We're going to activate the Tragedy to grab up Aluber. This was before I was playing Dramaturg. Here, Dramaturg is much better, but alas. Whoops. Anyway, we're going to bring back the Superbia, which we sent to the graveyard, which will then grab the Ixchel, which can then also activate its effect in order to contact back the Amdusk that we just sent to grave. We're going to activate the Amdusk in order to steal their Psyframe Gear Gamma. I didn't really have a target, because I didn't mill, like, a Merly or something like that, so I decided to make Elf here, but Elf doesn't really do anything. But I have it, so there you go. We're going to set the SnowiK and pass. They're going to banish their driver as well. And we do have Havness as well. I didn't turn my Chain Link on, even though I have a Shuffler to shuffle away the Water Enchantress, but it's fine. So they're going to go for the Water Enchantress here. They're going to activate the effect in order to grab up Rite of Aramesir. They're going to activate the Rite of Aramesir in order to grab up their token, as well as the Fateful Adventure, and activate the Fateful Adventure in order to grab up the Griffin Rider, pitching from their hand a Punk. Punk Deer Note, notably. They're going to special summon out to their Wandering Griffin Rider, and I'm like, that's totally fine. They're going to activate the Dracoback, bouncing back to hand the SnowiK. So yeah, that goes back to the hand. Then they are going to activate the Stardust Synchron. Huh. They're going to tribute their token. What? Why did we not just normal this? Anyway, oh, because we had that in hand, and now they can make Stardust Dragon. Okay, they're going to grab themselves up a token, and then they are going to send a Stardust, special summon a Stardust Synchron in order to go for the Junk Speeder. Okay, sure. Activate the Junk Speeder. I have Havness, and then I'm going to chain the Ixchel. You do have to chain the Havness to the activation of the opponent's monster, and then we activate the Ixchel here. So we're going to activate the Ixchel and negate my opponent's monster effect, as well as go for the Havness here. Havness is going to send a Sheeran, and my opponent realizes the game is over because their Speeder was negated. Whoops. Alright, here we are once again going first, and once again with Grass. Look, I just happen to open Grass often with this deck, and honestly, activating Grass is pretty good. I was also playing Kelbeck originally as well, decided to cut that for the Snow and the Dramaturg. So we're going to activate our Kelbeck because I think we hit a Shuffler. Yeah, we hit Mudora, so I'm like, yeah, this is fine. We're going to grab the Havness, and then we are going to use the Havness to fusion with the Merly in order to go into Kit. So yeah. We're going to go into Kit here, and we're going to mill 5, and guess what? My opponent is also on Tier, because of course they are. And then we're going to activate our Keldo here, and we're going to shuffle back 2 of their monsters, as well as 1 of our cards. They're going to activate their Keldo in order to shuffle back some of our cards. That's fine. They're But yeah, we're going to shuffle back their Rhino Heart. They're going to pitch the Beast, which will allow them to draw a card. We're going to add the SnowiK, and then we're going to add the Aluber. I'm trying to get to 3 fairies. I can't quite do it. So, alas, there we are. We're going to then activate our Branded Retribution in order to add back the theater that we had, because they shuffled back the opening. Anyway, we're going to grab the opening with the Aluber here. We're going to activate the opening in order to grab up Tragedy, and now we can go into our first Darklord. So yeah, we're going to go for first Darklord here. Activate the effect to special summon out the Superbia. Superbia effect will then grab our Ixchel that is in the graveyard, and Ixchel will activate its effect in order to search out Contact. Then we can shuffle that back and go for Kit. Kit effect will then summon the Sheeran and activate its effect in order to go and mill some additional cards. We're going to grab the second SnowiK, which kind of doesn't do anything. But yeah, we're going to go for Contact here and then realize that we are locked into Link monsters, grab up the Sanctified, set 3, and pass. It's still not the greatest, but we do have the ability to negate multiple things, as well as we have the first Darklord, as well as in the grave we do have the Darklord enchantment. So I'm feeling pretty good. We also have the Shuffler as well, and I think it's just the one Shuffler. So there's that. They're going to go and pitch the Agido, and I'm like, that's totally fine. We hit a Keldo and a Rhino Heart, but the Rhino Heart's not really going to do anything. We're going to shuffle back a few of their cards, as well as one of our own, in order to go for, or in order to stop some of their cards. They're going to grab up Havness here, and we are going to activate our own Havness, which they will promptly shuffle back. And then I activate my own Keldo here, because I thought that they had activated the Sheeran, which would have caused a fusion summon. And then I realized they didn't. They just activated the Mudora. And so I was like, oh, whoops. So I'm going to shuffle back some of my own cards. I shuffle back a Gamma for some reason. Don't know what I'm doing there. But out comes the Perlino. Grab up the Sheeran, activate the effect of the Sheeran in order to pitch the Rhino Heart, and go from there. So they're going to go for the Rhino Heart, pitching the Havness, which they searched, and then activate the Havness and the Rhino Heart. They're going to go and Fusion Summon. I'm totally okay with all of this, and out comes Kit. They're going to send the Merly as well and pop my Field Spell. That's totally fine. They're going to activate all of these cards in sequence, and out comes Sanctified Darklord. Sanctified Darklord is going to now negate the Kit. Boop. Negated, and gain that 28. Fantastic. Out comes Kaleido Heart into a big board of untargetable bunguses. Sure, that's a choice. Yeah, they're gonna activate the effect and shuffle away my SnowiK. Guess what? I have the second one. Hilarious. Out comes Time Thief Redoer, and you will see why this deck is very funny. So we're gonna go into our, we are going to grab up our enchantment here to activate. To grab up the Redoer. I don't want them to go into Zeus. That would just be a death sentence. So I'm just gonna grab the Redoer and then banish it as well, so that they don't have the ability to make a Zeus, even if they had the ability to get more Xyz onto the field. So yeah, we banish the Redoer there, which also prevents them from triggering a Sheeran, and then we grab up our Tez to protect the Ixchel. Out comes the Kit Kalos. They're going to attack in, and I'm going to activate the SnowiK, permanently negating the Kaleido Heart. Why didn't we do this earlier? Well, because I didn't want the Kaleido Heart to be able to attack into whatever we ended up summoning off of our Sheeran. So yeah, now they can't clear our board, and they just pass, and we give them... we summon back the Redoer, and then immediately give it back. They're going to activate the Redoer. I'm going to activate the SnowiK here to negate it, because I don't want to have to deal with that. Yeah, again, worried about Zeus and stuff like that. And since we can just bring back the Rukalos, we are totally fine. I'm going to set the Branded in red, just because I need to, or I don't need to, but I choose to. And then we activate the Contact, and my opponent actually does something that is very problematic for Darklords, and it's shuffle back the spells before they resolve. Luckily, we have the Ixchel, so we can activate the effect in order to search out a monster. And my opponent chains Maxi to this, not realizing how my cards work. So, yeah, I'm just going to activate my first Darklord here in order to special summon out the Tez. I'm also going to search up the Morningstar here to help clear the field. We're going to activate, we're going to go into Condemned to get an additional normal summon, or an easier normal summon with the Morningstar. Morningstar, special summon the Ixchel, activate the effect, get negated by Ash, because apparently we're playing bad cards. That's fine. Switch everything to attack and proceed to battle. We're going to walk over the field and still have quite a bit going for us. So yeah, we're going to just walk into everything here and be like, okay, can you out my big bungus board? We're going to gain 25 from Condemned and pass back. So, my opponent is going to start off with Scream. That's fine. They're going to normal summon the Rhino Heart and activate the Scream. We are going to negate with the SnowiK here, sending the Tez, because I just want to get an additional card off of the field, so that we have the ability to go and first Darklord to special summon. So there's that. They're going to grab up the Sheeran here, and then they are going to activate the Sheeran. I'm going to negate with the Root Hollows. I believe we have a Shuffler, if I'm not mistaken. No, we don't. I don't know what I'm doing. We go for the Havness here. And they were going to go for Despia. And I'm like, that's totally fine. They're going to try and pop the back row. I'm going to activate the Branded in red. That's fine. And then we're going to banish a whole bunch of cards on the field. I was actually very low on time at this point, so I'm not exactly making the best of decisions, but we go for the Guardian Chimera here. They're going to negate with the Despia. I'm like, that's fine. Realistically, though, I believe I could have stopped that. Yeah, I have a Sanctified in the graveyard, so I could have gone Eggshell, negate the Despia. Good thing I didn't, because they had the Instant Fusion. So yeah, they're going to activate they're going to activate the Instant Fusion, go into Kit effect, activate my own Eggshell to negate the Kit, to prevent them from doing anything there, and then they were going to activate the Kit, which doesn't do anything, sure, and then link off into Dark. They're going to activate the Dark, targeting the Tez. I'm going to activate the first Darklord, special summoning the Tez, and then they will proceed to battle. Attacking into... Notably, Scream does not change the defensive stat of monsters. It only changes the attack stat. So my Guardian Chimera, which is at 3,300 defense, does not lose to Despia, which is 3,200, thanks to the Perlino. So, whoops. Anyway, my opponent concedes. I was on 1 second. Oh, never mind. They also lost a time. We were all very low on time. Alright, this game was 28 turns long. That's all I'm going to say. Let's hop into this. So we drew it's tier. It's branded tier. That's what this hand is. We don't really have a good way to get to Darklords, but it'll be fine. So we're going to grab up the Merly here since we already have the Sheeran. We're going to activate the Sheeran effect in order to pitch the Merly, and then we're going to activate the Merly effect as well as SnowiKs. They're going to chain Maxi because of course they do. Surprisingly, they played around the Gamma. I don't know what the frick is going on. Sure. Anyway, we're going to pitch the Gamma to go for the Branded Opening, to go for Dramaturg here. We're going to summon out the Kit Colors, and we're going to activate the effect of the Kit in order to grab up the Merly. Then we're going to activate Kit's effect in order to summon the Merly and send 5. I don't really know what we're playing against, so that's why we're doing this. We had a Shuffler, which is why we did this. We're going to normal summon the Alibur, set the Branded in red, and pass. So we have Havness, Branded in red, and a Shuffler, so I'm feeling decent. It's not the greatest, but hey, it's something. We also have the Primal Planet, so there's that. They're going to go for Cosmic Cyclone, that's fine. And then Upstart, okay, and 1 Day of Peace. At this point, I'm like, is this Sky Striker? Is this Runic? What is this? What deck plays these cards? So I'm very confused. I'm certainly unfamiliar with what is happening, but that's fine. We're going to go for the Rhino Heart, pitch the Sheeran. Sheeran effect is going to then activate. We're going to summon out the Root Hollows. We are then going to go and pop our own Merly with the Shuffle effect. Or, sorry, the Field effect. In order to go into the Kit here. We're going to activate the Kit effect. We are also going to shuffle a few cards. Most notably, both of the SnowiKs, since we already had both in the grave. I wanted to search out one of those, so we're going to search out the SnowiK there. We're going to activate the Kit effect and special summon out the Havness so that we can mill 5. We're going to activate that to mill 5. We're going to activate the Scream here in order to grab up the second SnowiK, which is very funny. And then we're going to link off into Condemned, because we happen to have 2 fairies. Hey, look at that. We're going to activate the Condemned in order to pitch the SnowiK to grab the Eggshell. We're going to activate the Eggshell effect in order to grab up 2 cards, and, well, those aren't the greatest, but hey, look at that. We can make Sprite Elf. We're going to activate the Elf effect. Oh, sorry. In order to grab up the Merly, and then we're going to mill a few more cards and pass. Yeah, I can't really do anything. Can't really deal damage to them. Out comes Pot of Desires. And, well, at the very least, now it's not Exodia. And then I see this card. If you don't know what this card does, you will see. So, I'm going to try and negate that with the Root Hollows. And, of course, they drew the Droplet. Why would they not? I'm going to activate the Elf here because they only sent a spell card. So we're going to grab up the Merly here and activate the Merly effect, which isn't really going to do anything because Rongo. Format Rongo. Now, if you don't know what Format Rongo does, your opponent cannot normal or special summon monsters. It's unaffected by other card effects, gains 1,500 attack and defense, and cannot be destroyed by battle. Fun. We're going to activate Merly and mill a few more cards. They're going to go Salesband, call Rongo. They're going to then draw 2, and hey, look at that! Dark Hole! I'm going to go Branded Opening to preserve my life points, and it's a Mono Awato. I'm going to negate the effect with the Root Hollows, so that way you can actually just destroy the Root Hollow, or destroy the Mono Awato. I can't have this sticking around. So we're going to shuffle a few cards back to pop it with the Perlino. At this point, the game devolves into set pass. That's all that happens. I set pass for several turns. So I'm going to fast forward this part in the replay so that you can kind of see what is happening. Yeah. Alright, so we are very close to the end, and I'm sure you're wondering, why have we stayed in this entire time? Also, why didn't we set that previous turn? So, two things. First of all, we know that they're playing board wipes. They have Dark Hole, they're going to wipe our board, so I didn't set because I only want... I want to at least have enough material to consistently set cards so that they deck out. They're on 3 cards. I am on 17. I think you can see that right there. I'm on 17, they're on 3, I can literally deck them out, because I'm guessing that they don't have any other monsters, like they use their 1 Mono Awato, what else are they playing? It's just Rongo Turbo, right? Most of the time they don't play more monsters, so I'm like, I'll just continually set cards, and yeah, here comes the last turn of the game. They're going to activate a Dark Hole, and I'm going to activate my Tragedy, searching the Aluber, and they will concede. I won that game. Isn't Rongo such a cool card? Alright, we're back with the deck, and in all honesty, this performed much better than I was anticipating. The thing is, I wouldn't even say brick occasionally, but I didn't draw the most powerful of hands. They kind of died to 1 or 2 interactions, and most notably, this deck still loses to Ash. Luckily, Ash is less common, significantly less common than normal, so yeah, losing to Ash doesn't matter nearly as much. However, being able to activate Grass is just a godsend, even if you're only being able to mill like 3 cards with it. Yes, I literally did that once, it was hilarious. But on top of that, just this deck in general is pretty interesting. You're able to actually more effectively do a lot of your Darklord plays thanks to having additional, like, follow-up, right? Thanks to having, like, the tears and other stuff like that that is better with Grass to kind of supplement that so that you can play Grass without being too bricked. On top of that, being able to mill the millers is very nice, and yeah, all of that stuff. First Darklord is also very good, just in general, if you're able to summon it, which we do have a lot of ways to searching out or special summoning out our fairies, so there's that, and we're just playing a whole bunch of fairies, specifically dark fairies, so that we can utilize Despia Theater to go into our first Darklord, and then on top of that, be able to special summon out additional monsters. So all in all, the deck is pretty decent. It does Darklord stuff pretty well, even just summoning an Ixchel to get a body as well as a Sanctified into rotation is pretty nice. And yeah, just all in all, hey, this is a pretty decent way to play Darklords. Probably the current best way to play. Maybe not this exact list, but like, you know, tier Darklord branded or more Despia stuff. But yeah, there you go. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that you guys did indeed enjoy. If you did, a like is very much so appreciated. And if you want to check out more content like this, as well as more Yu-Gi-Oh!, then just be sure to subscribe. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. And remember to always stay frosty. Bye-bye. Shout out to the Frost Guard, my members. Thank you guys so much for the support, and I hope you enjoy the content.